Okay, let us start discussion. So, in the last class, we have started that divide and conquer technique. So, many. Okay, is it whether I have started recording? Oh, it's started. In the last class, we have discussed divide and conquer technique. As you are already familiar with merge sort and quick sort, we have discussed the complexity of these two algorithms. Okay, now we have to learn a different technique. Okay, and this technique is very important. So just we have given some idea that why memorization is needed in design analysis of algorithm. Okay, so there are some problems where we can reuse the result which we have calculated earlier. Okay, so instead of going to any specific algorithmic discussion, uh, let us try to understand that why uh, the things are needed. Okay, so if we want to discuss first, I want to discuss it with one algorithmic technique. This is matrix chain multiplication. So before going to the algorithm, I want to show you something where you will understand that why matrix chain multiplication this algorithm is needed. Like in the previous class we have discussed that if one matrix, say the matrix M1 is given, we have to calculate the result of M1 multiplied by M2 multiplied by M3. And if we consider that the dimension, the order of first matrix is P Q, second one is Q R, and third one is R S. Okay, so if this is the given, these are the given matrices which we have to multiply, what will be the result if we multiply them? So we know that we can calculate, we can multiply M1 with M2, then the result of M1 M2, the resultant matrix will be multiplied with M3. Okay, in that way we can calculate it. Someone may choose some other technique, like someone may choose different order, like first he will multiply M2 with M3, then its result will be calculated. So after multiplying it, now this result will be multiplied with M1. Okay, so you can choose any order, but we know that if a matrix chain is given like M1 M2 M3, we can't multiply M1 with M3 first. Okay, so two matrices just who are residing side by side, they can be multiplied. We can't multiply matrices randomly, so we can't choose any of these matrices from the given list. So if we want to calculate M1 into M2 into M3, then either we have to multiply M1 M2 first, then we have to multiply the result with M3, and alternatively M2 M3 will be calculated first, then we can multiply it with M1. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let us try to understand that whether if we choose any one of this technique, is there any effect? Like if I choose, just for example, I'm considering that the values of PQR, say P equals to 20, Q equals to 15, R equals to say it's 12 and s equals to say it's 14. Okay, so if these are the values which are given, I'm taking just random value. Now how many multiplications you have already implemented the algorithm for multiplying two matrices? Okay, so what is the complexity of matrix multiplication? Say I have two matrices M1 and M2, and order of M1 is PQ and this one is QR. If these two values are not same, then we can't multiply them. We know that. Okay, so this order should be same. So how many operations you have to perform in this multiplication? What is the complexity of this algorithm for matrix multiplication?
Q
So
into R.
okay, so yeah, P into R. Okay, let me check that. If we want to multiply them, how many rows are there in first matrix? Number of row is P and number of column is Q. Okay, so number of column is Q and number of row is P. In second matrix, number of row is Q and here number of column is R. Okay, so when we are multiplying these two matrices, say we are getting a resultant matrix. So if we get this resultant matrix, then what is the dimension of this resultant matrix? It will be P into
P cross R.
P cross R. So this is the dimension of resultant matrix, P cross R. So how many elements are there? So total number of elements present in this matrix. So if we name it as MR, resultant matrix, MR. Okay, so number of elements in this matrix is P into R. P number of rows and R number of columns. So P into R number of elements are present here. Now, when we are going to calculate one element, say I want to calculate an element. So I want to calculate element, that means M, say Ij. What will be the value of Mij of resultant matrix? It will be sum of, okay, instead of using this symbol, I'm writing, so from first matrix, just 1 minute, I will use a different symbol. Okay, okay. So this is the first matrix M1 and this is second matrix, because I want to use this subscript here. So if I want to multiply, calculate this element at position Mij, then from first matrix ith row, so from matrix 1, ith row, then first column, it will be multiplied with second matrix, its first column, first row, jth column. Is it true? I will move in this direction during multiplication. I will move in this direction, and here I will move in this direction. Okay, so this first element of ith row, just a minute. হ্যাঁ সত্যদা ক্লাসে আছি, আমি একটু পরে করব। ওকে, So here the first element of this matrix will be multiplied with the first element of this column. So this is ith row, first column, and in second matrix this is first row, jth column. So these two will be multiplied. Then the next element, that means m1, it's i2 multiplied by m2, it's 2j. In this way it will be multiplied and finally the sum will be calculated. So m1, m2. So in m1 I, what is the last element? iq, from q position, and for second element it will be qj. So if we multiply, I want to calculate this value, I have to multiply these elements and I have to calculate sum. So how many multiplications are needed for calculating one element of this resultant matrix? How many multiplications are there?
Q number of multiplications.
Okay, so here we are using q number of multiplications. Okay, so here for each and every element q number of multiplications are needed, and in this resultant matrix total number of element is p into r. So total multiplications required for calculating this resultant matrix is p into
PQR, sir.
q into r. This is the total number of multiplications required. Okay, so if we want to multiply two matrices, then this is the total number of multiplication required. Okay, so basically the complexity is, if we consider the order of the matrices in the form of n, so complexity of this matrix is basically matrix multiplication is big O of nq. If we consider p equals to n, q equals to n, and r equals to n, so complexity of this multiplication is big O of nq. Okay, now I am coming to the next point. So if three matrices are given, okay, and we have considered that this at this moment, for this example, this is the dimension. So PQRS is given. So if I want to multiply them, how many multiplications are required? Say I am marking it as case 1, and if I want to multiply them in this order, then it will be case 2. So let us consider case 1. So first we are multiplying m1 with m2. Okay, so m1 is being multiplied with m2, then their result is being multiplied with m3. Okay, so what will happen in case of this multiplication m1 into m2? How many multiplications are required? PQR. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so 20 into 15 into 12. Okay, what is the dimension of this resultant matrix? So for multiplying m1 with m2, this number of multiplications are required. Okay, now after that you will get a resultant matrix. Say the resultant matrix is mr. Okay, now it will be multiplied with m3. Okay, what is the dimension of mr? Sorry, I should not use r.
P cross R.
Okay, so if this
20
matrix,
cross 10.
yeah, just a minute, as this one is I'm using r as index, that's why I will use m prime. Okay, now its dimension is 20 cross 12, and this one is 12 cross 14. So for multiplying them, how many multiplications are required? 20.
Sir, 20 cross 12 cross 14.
Why plus? Multiply.
Sir, multiply it, yes.
Yeah. So total number of multiplications. Now total number of multiplications needed is What will be the total number of multiplication?
The
During this
summation of those
multiplication,
two.
this was the number of multiplication operations, and during second multiplication, this is the number of multiplication. So sum of this, so if we calculate sum of these two values, then this is the total number of multiplications needed for multiplying m1, m2, m3 in this order. Now I'm coming to second case. Okay, so what is the second case? If I consider this second case, in this second case I want to calculate this in this way. M1 will be multiplied with the result of M2, M3. So first I will calculate M2, M3. So M2, M3 dimension is QRS. So 15. So this dimension is number of multiplication required is 15 into 12 into 14. Okay. After that, the resultant matrix, its size is 15 cross 14.
15 cross 14.
Okay. So when it will be multiplied with M1, so here M1 is being multiplied with this M prime. Okay. Its dimension is 20 cross 15. So in second case, number of multiplication required is 20 cross 15 cross 14. Okay. So as a whole, how many multiplications are required for multiplying this sequence? This value plus this value.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the total number of multiplications needed. Now can you check it? What will be the value for first case and what will be the value for second case?
Sir, two are getting different.
Okay, so this value in second case, what is the value? It's the 6720,
sir.
and in first case
6960.
6960.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now you can see that in which order the matrices will be multiplied, based on that computational time is dependent. Okay, so if we choose first technique or second technique, then number of multiplications required will be changed. If we consider a very small array, like the dimension is 20 cross 15 or 15 cross 12, then it may not affect the performance of the system very much. But if we consider some larger matrices or dimensions are few thousand, okay, then the performance of the system will significantly vary. Okay, so this is the need of matrix chain multiplication. Okay, so matrix chain multiplication, matrix multiplication technique you have already implemented in C programming language, but in this paper we are going to discuss matrix chain multiplication algorithm. So the purpose of this algorithm is to determine in which order they are to be multiplied. Okay, so as we have seen with one example that number of multiplication, that means the number of operations are varying significantly. Okay, so before multiplying them, we have to decide that in which order they are to be multiplied. Then if we get the sequence that if we follow this order, then it will be the fastest operation. So this will be the optimal solution. Okay, so this algorithm, matrix chain multiplication algorithm, is basically a technique where we are finding an optimal solution. Okay, so optimal means here we are trying to minimize it. Okay, just at this moment I can give you that when we will use the term optimization, so optimization is either related to minimization or maximization. So based on our objective, we will discuss some algorithms later. Just to understand that here in this case we want to minimize the computational time. Okay, so it's a minimization problem. Can you give me one example of maximization problem? Any example where we have to maximize something? Okay, let me give you some example. Okay, just I'm assuming that when you are returning from college, oh, your college is closed for last 1 year. Okay, you have just I'm assuming that okay, you have gone for shopping. Okay, just not in shopping mall, obviously. I'm assuming this case for you have gone for shopping in your market, and due to bad weather the market is going to be closed. Okay, at that moment you have a bag which is you have not purchased anything till now. Okay, when you are returning home, then you have seen that there is one shop and the shopkeeper has decided that he will close the shop, so the fruits which are available there, he want to sell everything, and not selling, you want to give it in free. Okay, so it will be free of cost. So you have a bag, you are getting these fruits free of cost. So what will be your decision? Which items will you choose? Let me talk to you. I will get obviously different answer from you. Let us try to understand that based on what are the problems. Okay, Ashish, are you there? Yeah, he's sleeping probably. Ananya, Anjana, Ankita.
Yes, sir.
What will be your objective? You have a bag, you are getting those fruits, like I'm assuming that the fruits are, I'm limiting this number of fruits like apple, guava, okay, uh, then mangoes. So which item or which items will you choose? So apple has highest price and guava, its price is lowest. which item will you choose? Or if you choose multiple item, what's your opinion?
আমি যেগুলো ভালো মানে আমার যেগুলো ভালো লাগবে সেগুলোই।
Okay. Anupam? Yeah, that's the reality. No one is responding, even just you are in second year. Okay. Ashutosh? Asif? Chandradev? I don't need any class. I can directly take your exam. If you are not attending any classes, then it's fine.
Can I say?
Yeah, how many of you are present? I'm really doubtful about it. Turn on your video,
Yes, sir,
everyone.
we are attending.
Turn on your video,
Yes,
everyone.
sir. Okay, sir.
Seven, 8, 9. Only 9. I don't. Tuhin,
Yes, sir.
Tridib, Tanushree,
Yes, sir.
Shushmit,
Yes, sir.
Shubhanil,
Yes, sir.
okay, fine. Okay, you may turn off your video. No problem. This paper is very important. Please try to understand. I don't know why attendance is so poor. Now it's 29. Okay, fine. Okay, so yeah, who will say something else?
So can I say?
Sir, it depends on the season. The price varies.
Sir, it depends upon the person, choice of the person, and also the price.
Okay, any other opinion? So obviously it will be dependent on this. I will give you some other example. Yeah. So yeah, someone is trying to say something. Who is
The
this?
strict item such that way the total price or the total number is maximized.
Okay. In case of fruit, you are choosing something like which fruits you prefer or which has, and you can mix it. Okay, so you will not choose
Sir, if the fruit
absolutely.
choice is equal, then sir actually less সবথেকে less প্রাইসের যে ফ্রুটটা সেটা ম্যাক্সিমাম নাম্বার অফ নিতে চাইবে। Okay.
If you want to purchase, but if you get these items free of cost,
Yes sir, at that moment মানে সবকটাই টোটালটাই নিতে চাইবো স্যার।
okay, but you have only one bag, so you have a limited capacity.
Yes sir, up to that capacity. Yes sir.
So you can mix. Okay, now I am assuming that one container has been given to you. Okay, and using this container maximally you can carry 100 gram. Okay, so now in a jewelry shop you are getting this choice that you will get everything free, but maximally you can take 100 gram of items. Now there are gold materials, so gold jewelry, then silver jewelry and bronze jewelry. Which items will you choose?
Gold.
Yeah, now your choice is gold. So why gold? The reason is simple, you want to maximize your profit. In previous case you have thought that yeah, I will not, for next 7 days I will not eat the same fruit, so I will take different types of fruits according to my choice. But here your choice is different, you are getting these items free. So if 100 gram gold is available, so you will choose 100 gram gold, as you can carry maximum 100 gram. Now if only 50 gram gold jewelry is available and next 70 gram silver jewelry is available, so you will not choose 70 gram silver jewelry before choosing gold. So first you will pick 50 gram of gold, then remaining 50 gram which you can carry, that will be filled with silver. Okay, so this is the requirement. So this is a maximization problem. In case of matrix chain multiplication, we want to reduce computational time, but here we want to maximize our profit. So optimization means sometimes it will be maximization problem, sometimes it will be minimization problem. Okay, so in matrix chain multiplication we are trying to minimize the computational cost. Is it clear?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let us go back to our algorithm. So is it clear that why sequencing or matrix, during matrix chain multiplication, why ordering is required before multiplying them? Because multiplication is very costly operation. So before multiplying it, we will try to find out that in which order or which sequence they are to be multiplied. Okay, so here, okay, I'm going back to the same slide again. Okay, now if m number of matrices are given, okay, in this example we have taken 3 matrices. So if 3 matrices are given at this moment, so I want to multiply them. So during this multiplication, if I take this order, okay, this is the given sequence. Now my choice is either I will multiply m1 with m2 first or m2 with m3 first. Okay, so basically the problem is being subdivided into sub problems. Okay, so if I want to multiply them, the problem is being subdivided into sub problems. You know that in case of merge sort or quick sort, we have a problem is given, we have divided the problem into sub problems, and independently each sub problem has been sorted, and finally the result of the sub problems has been taken. We have taken the results of the sub problems to finally conquer the final result, to get the final result. Okay, So in this case, in dynamic programming, again, we are able to, if a problem can be divided into sub-problems, this is a criteria. Okay, so dynamic programming, you will choose dynamic programming. Obviously, one criteria is if we can divide the problem into sub-problem. Each and every sub-problem can be solved individually. Okay, along with that, in case of divide and conquer and in case of dynamic programming, we have a difference that in dynamic programming, we are using some memorization technique. We are saving some result which we have computed earlier. So the result of the sub-problems are being saved for future use. So later on, if it is required, in this example, we will discuss it. So if it is required, then we will choose it, we will reuse it in future. Okay, so basically it will help us to avoid recomputation, as just I have mentioned here. So we can reduce computational effort. So once we have calculated something, we can avoid recomputation. Okay, so that can be done using memorization. Okay, and obviously here the objective is optimization. So either I will choose maximize problems where maximization is the objective, or some problems or minimization is the objective. So as we have discussed two problems, one is this one, matrix chain multiplication. This is a minimization problem. In case of item selection, as we have discussed, this one is known as knapsack problem. Okay, and this knapsack problem is maximization problem. And this knapsack problem, knapsack means bags. Okay, so knapsack, its meaning is bag, if you are not aware of. So in one bag, how much item we can choose to get maximum profit? So you have to calculate it using an algorithm so that we can maximize our profit. Okay, so both are optimization problem. So this is an optimization problem. So here, in case of dynamic programming, we are using optimal substructure. I will come to this later. Okay, so now try to understand that why it's required. So I have already discussed with one example. So here, if 4 matrices are given, this example is taken from Corman. Okay, so if 4 matrices are given, in different sequence they can be multiplied. Now which one is optimal? That means where computational time is minimal, that is to be calculated. Okay, so this is the algorithm, and using this algorithm we can multiply it. So this is an algorithm for multiplication, matrix multiplication. So you have already implemented it earlier, that if I want to multiply, so this one is basically, here we are trying to calculate C by multiplying A, B. Okay, so the elements of Cij is being calculated. So its order is big O of n q. Okay, if n is the input size or size of the row or size of the column. Okay, now I'm coming to matrix chain multiplication. Okay, before going to that, we will try to understand with this example how it will be solved. Then we can write the program. We will not be able to write any program until we understand how the problem is being solved. So as in C programming language class or in data structure, you have learned that instead of writing or learning the syntaxes of the program, your objective was to learn that what are the different data structure and where these data structures will be suitable. Okay, because every data structure has its own use that cannot be dominated by others. Okay, now here we are going to this, that if some matrices are given which are to be multiplied in this order. So this one is A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6. Okay. Now our objective is we have to parenthesize it properly, so that if we follow the parenthesis for multiplication, that will give us optimal cost. Okay. So how to parenthesize it? So first let us try to understand that how much multiplications are required for multiplying them. What will be the minimum cost? Then we will determine that in which order we have to multiply. Okay, so this is the result. So if we follow this one, then it will give us the optimal solution, but we have to determine it before multiplication. So how it will be determined? I'm coming back here. So first check that first we have placed A1, A2, A3. So all the matrices which are given, they are just marked here. Okay, now what is being represented by this M? So M is a two-dimensional array. This M, it's a 2D array. Okay, it's a two-dimensional array. How it will be calculated? So just initially we have to draw this box. Okay, so if three matrices are given, then how it will be calculated? Let me consider that with a very small example, A1, A2, A3. Okay, so I will take this. Sorry. Let me consider this. Okay, so here A1, A2, A3 and A4. Okay, so 4 matrices. So initially you have to put 0 here. Okay, if I consider, what does it represent? It represents that if I have only one matrix, it is not being multiplied with anyone, then how much computation is needed? 0. Now this one is intersection of A1, A2. Okay, so this is the intersection of A1, A2. So here what will be the value of this? The value of this cell is basically the minimum number of multiplications required for multiplying A1 and A2. Okay, if we want to multiply A1 and A2, what will be the minimum number of multiplications required? If I want to multiply A1, A2, is there any choice? If I have
No,
three
sir.
matrices, then there is a choice.
No, sir.
Yeah. So there is no choice. So I have to multiply A1, A2. What is the dimension of A1? 30, 35 and A2 35, 15. So how much multiplication is required for multiplying A1, A2?
30 into 35 into
35.
50.
Yeah. So this is the total number of multiplication required. So here I have to put this value. So I have to put this value in this cell. Okay. So try to understand that if we consider a cell, what will be the value of this cell? Minimum number of multiplications required for multiplying this sequence. So if I want to multiply A1, A2, then their intersection will contain the value of minimum number of multiplications required. Okay, so what will be the value of this cell?
35 cross 15 cross 5.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
what will be the minimum number of multiplication required for A2, A3? So 35 into 15 into 5. Then what will be the next cell? So it will be
15 into
Sir,
5 into
16
10.
into 5 into 10.
okay. So in this matrix, in this one, these are the values which are calculated here. Okay. So you can check that these are the values. I have taken the diagrams from book, so there is no manual error. Okay. Now going to this one, what will be the value of this cell? What will be the value of this cell? So it's an intersection of A1 to A3. So if I multiply A1, A2, A3, minimum number of multiplications required for this is this value. But how it will be calculated? I have
Of A1, A2 and A2, A3.
okay. So I want to calculate A1, A2, A3. So we have two choices. One is A1, A2. It will be multiplied with A3, and in another case it will be A1, which will be multiplied with A2, A3. Okay, it's fine. Is there any confusion?
No, sir.
Okay, now what is A1, A2? A1, A2 we have already calculated earlier. A1, A2. So we are storing it in this array. Okay, so initially the whole matrix will be 0. It will be initialized by 0. Now we are calculating these values, and the cells on the upper side of this triangular is being filled. So now I want to, after filling these values of this line, now I want to fill the upper layer. So if I want to fill this upper layer, what will be the value? So we can multiply it. What is the value of A1, A2? A1, A2 is 15750. We have calculated earlier. So it's 15750 plus what? Now the result of this will be multiplied with A3. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
what is the dimension of A1, A2? A1, A2, its dimension will be 30, 15. So it will be 30 cross 15, and it will be multiplied with A3, that is 5. This is one value, and another value is for the right hand side. So A2, A3 is known. So what is A2, A3? A2, A3 is this. We have calculated earlier. 2625. So 2625 plus what? A1. So that means 30 into 35 into 5.
5.
Okay. Now we have two values. One is this and another one is this. Now we have two choices. So out of these two choices, which one is optimal? Optimal is second one.
Second one,
Okay.
sir.
So second one is minimum. So we have to choose the minimum value. Okay. So if I choose this minimum value, then this minimum value will be placed here. Okay. In this way, if I want to multiply A2, A3, A4, then this value will be calculated. Then this one will be calculated, which is basically the minimum cost for multiplying A3 to A5. This is the value which will be calculated, which is required for multiplying A4 to A6. Okay. Now when I will go to calculate this one, then what will be our choice? In this case, what will be our choice to calculate this? So when I'm
So
going to,
A1, A2, A3, A4.
okay, so previously we have calculated the minimum cost for multiplying A1, A2, A3. This value is this one. We have already calculated. And we have also another value, which is the minimum cost of multiplying A2, A3, A4. So this value is this one. So if I want to multiply A1, A2, A3, A4, then I have two choices. One is it will be multiplied by A4, and another is it will be multiplied by A1. So out of this, which one is minimum? That will be placed here. In that
Yes,
way,
sir.
the upper triangle will be filled. Okay. So if I fill this triangle, then any cell. So after filling this triangle, every cell represents something. What does it represent? So if I consider this cell, it represents, this value represents that if I multiply A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, then this is the minimum number of multiplication which is required. So this value, finally this value will be calculated. So it represents that if I multiply A1 to A6, then this is the minimum number of multiplication required. Okay. So in this way, this matrix needs to be calculated. Okay. So here we have found minimum number of multiplications required for multiplying a sequence of matrices. Okay. But still now we don't know in which order they are to be multiplied. We have just calculated that what will be the minimum number of multiplications to multiply this set of this sequence of matrices. Okay, but in which order they are to be multiplied, that's not known till now. So I have to use something during this computation so that we can calculate it. Okay, so it will help us to parenthesize it. Okay, any doubt up to this?
Yes.
No, sir.
Okay, but whether the purpose of matrix chain multiplication is clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Purpose of
Yes.
chain multiplication. Okay. Uh, okay, so is it clear that why, what do we say that sub problem? What is sub problem? What is memorization? So in the previous class, at the end of the previous class, we have talked about that memorization is needed. So here we are storing these values. Once we have calculated the minimum number of multiplications required for A1 to A3, we are storing it in some memory which is being reused in future. So it's a memorization. Okay. If we do not memorize it, then we have to compute the whole thing again and again. So dynamic programming will help to reduce this recomputation. Okay. Okay. Now I will discuss how algorithm will be implemented in programming language. Okay. So let us come to this algorithm. Just let me put it. I think it's visible. Okay. Now try to understand that how algorithm works. Okay, let us take a break of 5 minutes. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll join within 4-5 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Sir, you are not audible.
Yeah, if you want to, do you want to ask anything?
No, sir.
Hmm. What's your query? Whether everyone is present, then we can start.
Yes, sir, we are present.
Okay. Uh, okay, let us try to understand that. Here we are representing J. If we want to calculate Mij, okay, say I am going to calculate Mij. So here in this direction, J is being represented, and in this direction, I is being used. Okay, so this is J and this is I. So what will be the value of MII? So MII means 1 1 for I equals to 1 to n. N is basically length of the matrix chain. Okay, so P is basically total number of dimension. So if m number of if n, in this given example, n equals to 6. Okay, what will be the size of P? P will hold the dimension. So if one matrix is given, then dimension values are 2. If two matrices are given, like for the first one it will be PQ and this one is QR. Third one will be RS, like SW. So if two matrices are given, how many dimensions we have to keep? 3, P, Q and R. If three matrices are given, dimensions are P, Q, R, S, 4 dimension values. So if n number of matrices are given, then the value of P will be n plus 1. So if n equals to 6, the length of P is basically 7. Okay, so length of P is 7. So first we will calculate, we want to put these values as 0. What are the positions? This is M11, I equals to 1 and J equals to 1. So M11 is 0, I equals to 2, J equals to 2, M22 is 0, M33 is 0, 44 0, M55 0 and M66 0. That's why we are running this loop. For I equals to 1 to n, MII is being assigned by 0. So these values are 0. Okay. Now, so here basically we are considering that the level equals to 1. So all the values of level 1 has been calculated. Now I want to calculate the values for level 2. So all the values of this level will be calculated. For level 3, so L equals to 3, these values will be calculated. For L equals to 4, these values will be calculated. So in this way, how many times we have to calculate these values? L5 and last is level 6, this value. So we have to calculate these values. So in each and every level, so level starting from 2 to n. So this level starting from, already we have calculated the values for level 1. So starting from level 2 up to n, as n is the length of the matrix chain. So up to n we have to calculate it. Okay. Now if L equals to 2, so L equals to 2, that means level 2. What does it mean? The values of level 2 represents that the length of the sub problem is 2. In case of L1, length of the sub problem is 1. If we want to calculate the value of L2 here, then length of the sub problem is 2. Again for this one, length of the sub problem is 2. If I consider this one, Length of the sub problem is what? Starting from A2
4, sir.
up to A5. So length is 4. So here L equals to 4. Okay. So L is the length of the sub problem. That means length of the sub chain, obviously. So using this L equals to a specific value, we want to calculate the values of this level. Okay. So how to calculate this value? So to calculate this value, this loop will start from here and it will end here. Now within this, I want to calculate something. So starting from I equals to 1 to n minus L plus 1. So here I want to calculate this value, this one, like this. So starting from I equals to 1 up to n minus L plus 1, I will calculate. Why it's n minus L plus 1? This loop will start from 1. Okay. So here I want to calculate, basically using this I want to calculate the value of, using this loop I want to calculate the value of Mij. Okay. The value of Mij is being calculated by this. So here I equals to 1. So first M1, what will be the value of J? J equals to I plus L minus 1. Okay, I plus L. So here L equals to 2. So 1 plus 2 minus 1. That means 1 plus 2 minus 1 means 2. So in the first iteration, I want to calculate M12. Is it clear? In the first iteration of this loop, I want to calculate this value. Now I will change the value of J. If I change this value, then what will be calculated? In the next iteration, what will be the value of J?
M23, sir.
So in the next iteration, I equals to this. So in the next iteration, I will be incremented by 1. So if I increment this value, so in the next iteration of this, M23 will be calculated. Then M34 will be
3, 4, sir.
calculated. Okay. In this way, M45 will be calculated. Then M56. Now when M56, so that will be the end, because n minus L. What is the value of n? N equals to 6
6.
minus 2 plus 1. Okay, 6 minus 2 plus 1. So this value means 5. So the value of I, in the last iteration of I, the value of this will be 5. So this is the value. So M67 will not be calculated anymore. This will be the end of this loop. So using, when L equals to 2, these 5 values of M will be calculated. Okay. So in case of L equals to 2, 5 values will be calculated. Now in the next iteration of L, that means line number 4 of this algorithm. So when L equals to 3, if L becomes 3, how many values will be calculated? So here
4.
n minus L is increasing. So n minus L plus 1, this value is decreasing. So in the next iteration, one lesser element will be calculated. So that means in the next iteration, M13 will be calculated, M24 will be calculated in this way. Okay. So how many elements will be calculated? Here M45. It will stop here. So these are the values of these cells. Okay. So this loop is being used to control the indexes. Okay. Now, how a value will be calculated? So the values of L is controlling the levels or length of the subchain. Line number 5 and 6, it controls the values of ij. So if I want to calculate mij, the value of mij, then it will control that loop. So initially, what we are doing here? So initially, we are assuming that mij equals to infinite. Okay, that means a very, very large value. So we are initializing it by infinite. Now, for k equals to 1 to j minus 1, we are running this loop. Sorry, k equals to I to j minus 1. Okay, so what we want to calculate? I equals to, sorry, k equals to 1 to j minus 1. So it will control the sub problems. Okay, let me consider that mij is infinite initially. Okay, so mij is infinite. Now here I want to calculate q. So if I want to calculate q, what will be the value of q? Q is mik. That means to compute mik, what is the value of mik? Mik means starting from ai, if I multiply a k. So if I multiply this subchain, then this minimum number of multiplication required for this subchain, I will get it in mik. Starting from a k plus 1 to a j, minimum number of multiplications required for a k plus 1 up to j is this value. Any doubt? So mk plus 1
No,
j
sir.
will hold this value. Mik is basically the minimum number of multiplications required for this. This is the generic representation. And if I want to multiply these two, so if I want to multiply these two, then what will be the order of this? Order of this resultant matrix will be
Aij.
pi. The ai means pi into pj. Sorry, pi into, sorry, I'm writing it here. Order of ai is pi cross pi plus 1. Order of this is this. So order of, what will be the order of ak? Ak will be p k plus 1, sorry, pk cross pk plus 1. Okay,
Yes,
is
sir.
it clear? So if I want to multiply these matrices, then it will be I equals, sorry, pi minus 1 into pk into pj. Okay, so this is the minimum number of multiplications required for multiplying ai to aj. So at this moment, how these values are being calculated? So let me start with this algorithm. So initially L equals to 2. I will use a different color, otherwise it will create confusion. Just a minute. Let me take this one. So at the very beginning, what is the value of L? L equals to 2. Okay. What is the value of I? I equals to 1. What is the value of j? J equals to I plus L minus 1. That means j equals to 2. So what I want to calculate? So Mij means M12. Okay. So here Mij means M12. I want to calculate M12. So M12 is initially infinite. Starting from k equals to I to j minus 1. What is the value of I? I is 1. So the value of k will be 1 to j minus 1. J minus 1 is 2 minus 1. So this value is again 1. So how many times this loop will iterate? Only once?
One time.
Only one time? Okay. So if it iterates for one time, then I'm going to calculate the value of q. So what is q? So here q equals to m I k. What is I? K equals to 1 again. At this moment k equals to 1. K equals to I. And this loop will run for once. So what will be the value? M I k. I equals to 1. K equals to 1. So M11 plus M k plus 1. K plus 1 means 1
2.
plus 1. So 2. J equals to 2. Okay. Plus Pi minus 1. So this is Pi minus 1 into Pk into Pj. Okay. So what is this value?
P0, P1 into P2.
Yeah. So in this way, so first one is P0, P1 in this way up to Pn. Okay. So it is, this one is P0, P1 and P2. Okay. So this value M11 we have calculated earlier. M11 is 0. M22 is again 0. So this value is basically 0 plus this multiplication value. Okay. So it will be calculated. Now if q is less than Mij, obviously because Mij is infinite, so q is less than Mij, then Mij will be assigned by q. So the value which is being calculated here, this value will be assigned to q. Okay. So this value will be assigned to Mij. So here Mij will be assigned by this value. Okay. Now when Mij is being updated, I will keep this value k, for which value of k Mij is being updated. So Mij is being updated when Mij is being updated, if the value of q is less than Mij. At that time I will keep this index in different array s. So this is shown here. So in different array this is being shown. Okay. Now in this example, for which value of k Mij is being updated? K equals to 1.
1.
Okay, that's why this value, we are keeping this value 1. Okay, we will discuss this S matrix later because it will help us to determine the parenthesis. Okay, using a recursive function, it will help us to determine the parenthesis. So this is the way how we calculate this. Okay, now coming back to algorithm again. So this one will be calculated. Now this inner loop for loop for k is executing only once. So it will break this loop in the next iteration. Now it will go to next iteration of I. Now in the next iteration of I, what will be the value of I? Now I becomes 2. So if I becomes 2, what will be the value of j? J will be I plus L minus 1. Now j will be 3.
4.
No, L remains same. At this moment L remains same. In the next iteration, this is the inner
Yes,
loop.
sir.
Okay, notice this one, that this one is the inner loop. So in the first iteration of I was 1. Now in the next iteration of I becomes 2. Now what is the value of j? I plus L minus 1. So j becomes 3. Okay. Now what is Mij? So Mij means here M23. Okay. So M23. So go to this diagram. So what is M23? I equals to 2, that means this direction, and 3 equals to j equals to 3, this. So this is the cell. So in the next iteration of I, this value is being calculated. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this value is being calculated in the next iteration of I. Okay, in the similar way it will be calculated. Okay, so all the elements, because in this level every time the loop for iterator k will run only once, so all the values of this level will be calculated. Okay, now going back to the next iteration of L. So when L equals to 3, so in the next iteration of L, now L becomes 3. What will be the value of I? I will again start from 1. So
1,
now
sir.
I will start from 1. What will be the value of j? I plus L minus 1.
Sir, 3.
3. So now j becomes 3. So here when it will enter here, what is Mij?
1,
M13.
3.
So M13 means
1, 3, sir.
this value will be calculated. Okay, so M13. So now this one is M13. It will be initialized by infinite for k. K equals to I to j minus 1. So what is I? I equals to 1 and value of j equals to 3. So how many times this loop will run?
2 times, sir.
It will run 2 times. So this loop will run 2 times. So first Q. So first we are calculating, just I will remove this few things, otherwise it will be difficult. Okay, now let me write it again. So first, when this value is being calculated, I equals to 1 and j equals to 3, and what is the value of k? K equals to again I. It will start from
1.
I. So k equals to 1. So first is M11 plus, so MIK plus MK plus 1j. So k plus 1j means 2, 3. Okay, and this one is Pi minus 1 and this. Okay, so it's P0 Pk. So P2 P3. Okay, so we have already these values like M11, M23. These values are already calculated earlier. So those values are stored in this array, 2-dimensional array. So we will reuse those values and we will calculate the value of Q. Okay, so something will be calculated. So some value, we will obtain some value from here. After getting that value, now in the next iteration of k, what will happen? Okay, just 1 minute. Try to understand. So when in the first iteration of k, so q is mij is initially infinite. Obviously the value of q will be less than this. So mij will be assigned by q. Okay, so here initially that value will be assigned. So later on, if we get some better result or minimum value, we will override it in the next iteration. But at this moment, the value which is calculated, that will be written here. And for which value of k, this one is, we are getting this value. So at this moment k equals to 1. So in S matrix, we will write 1 again. Okay, we will write 1 again. Now going here in the next iteration of k. So in the next iteration of k means, what is the value of k? In the next iteration, the value
2.
of k equals to 2. So when k
2,
equals
sir.
to 2, yeah, when k equals to 2, then the value of q will be again calculated. So what will be the value? According to this equation, m ik, that means m12 plus m k plus 1, that means 3 k plus 1j plus p 0 I minus 1 multiplied by p k and p 3. So this value will be calculated in the next iteration. If in the next iteration when k equals to 2, if this value is better than previous value, then it will enter here, the if condition will be satisfied, then mij will be updated by the newly obtained value of q and sij will be updated. If we do not get a better value of q than the previous, then it will not enter here. So mij will not be updated, sij will not be updated. So that means for which value of k we are getting the best result, finally at the end of this iteration of I, finally that value of k will be stored in S and it will help us to get the sequence of multiplication. Is it clear? So if I run this program in that way, in every iteration of L, the upper cells of this matrix will be filled. So finally it will terminate. So at the end of this, at 16, M16 means this one. This value is M16. Okay, I equals to 1 and j equals to 6. So M16, this value is basically representing the minimum number of multiplications required for A1 to A6. Okay, so this is the way how this matrix is multiplication is being calculated. Okay, any doubt from here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
You have to write this program in lab. Okay, so that will be the assignment for today. Okay, now I'm coming to this. So finally it's not possible to show each and every step. Okay, you can try in your home, you can practice, you will be able to get this matrix with the given example. Okay, so this is S matrix. Now how to print this parenthesis? So the logic is, if I equals to j, then print ai, otherwise print first bracket and end bracket or closing bracket. So it's a big starting brace and end brace, and in between you have to print, you have to call. Basically you can notice that this is a recursive function call, print optimal parents. Okay, this is a recursive function call. Okay, in this example what will be the value? S is the matrix, I equals to, what is I, sorry,
0 से 1 तक start
no, 1. We have taken I equals to 1 and j equals to 6 in this example, 1 to 6. So here it will be called. So let us analyze. So if I call, we have very small space here. Let me write that I am calling this function print. Okay, I am representing this function by p s1 6. Okay, so if I equals to j, is it same I equals to j? No. If
No,
it's
sir.
not, then it will go to else. Okay, so when it will go to
Yes.
else, how this function will expand? It will go to else, then it will print starting brace. Okay, then after that it will, what will be the next step? It will call print this function, print optimal parents, with s, what is I equals to 1, and what is sij.
3
So
7
1
1 6
1 6 s 1 6, this value is 3, so it will pass 3. Okay, then what will be the next call? P s, this function s, then sij plus 1. So sij plus 1 means sij
4,
is
sir.
3, so this value is 3 plus 1 4, and what is j? J equals to 6.
6.
6, sir.
Okay, 6. Then after this function call, now it will go to print closing brace, so it will print closing brace. Okay, now it's a recursive function call. So ps13, this function will again expand. So I is not equals to j, so it will print what? It will not go to print this line, so it will directly go to else. So it will print first brace, starting brace, then it will call print s1, then 1 3. So s1 3
1
means s1 3. So s1 3, this value is 3. Sorry, 1. So it will call s1 1. Then s2 1
2
1.
3
So 2 3. Sorry, here we should pass s. So s comma 2 comma 3. Then it will print this. Okay. Then it will be printed. Now similarly, now in the first call, this one will be executed s11. Now I equals to j. If I equals to j, what will be printed here? It will print ai. So basically it will print,
Yes,
the
sir.
condition is true, so it will print ai. So ai means here it's a1. Okay, now from this function I not equals to j, so it will expand starting brace, then it will print s2 comma, just a minute. So it will print s, then sorry, it will print s I comma s ij. So s ij means what? s23.
Sir,
So
S23 means 3.
so s2 3, that means this one, s23. So this value is 2, so it will print
Yes,
2,
sir, 2.
and finally it will print S3 3. Okay, Sij plus 1, that means, so here we have got 2, so it will be 3, and j is 3 here. Okay, then it will print closing brace. Okay, so in which sequence it is being executed, I have not completed it yet, but let me show you. So this function will be called here. So when this function is being called, first it will go to this. It's a recursive function call. So first it will print this line. So first it will print this. Okay. Now after that, next line is this. So it will call this function. It's a recursive function. It will go in this direction. Now here it will print again a first bracket. Okay, let me draw it here. So again this first bracket is being printed. Then after that, next instruction is this recursive function call. So it will go to this, and finally A1 will be printed. So here it will print A1. Okay, after printing A1, it will not expand anymore. It will go to this caller function, then it will execute the next line. So PS23. From PS23, it will go to I not equals to 0, so it will again expand, so it will print this first brace. So it will print starting brace. Now it will go to next line. In next line, PS22. So S22 I equals to J. So it will print A2. It will print AI. So here it will print A2. Then next line is PS33. So it will print A3. Then it will print closing brace. So then it will print closing brace. Then it will, from this line, it will return here. Just okay. So here it will print this closing brace. After this, when this function call will be completed, then it will return to caller function. Then it will come here. From this, what is the next line? Next line is closing brace again. So it will print closing brace. Then after completion of this, it will go to caller function. It will go here. So after that, the next line is this. So PS46 will be called I not equals to J. So it will again expand. So how it will be expanded? So it will print first brace according to this logic. It will print first brace, then print optimal parenthesis with this value. So it will call print optimal parenthesis with value 4, then 46, S46. What is S46? S4,
5.
yeah, this one is 5. So here it will print S45. The next line is PS66, and finally a closing brace. Okay, now from P45, I don't have space, I'm drawing it here. So how it will expand? Again it will print first brace as I not equals to J. Then it will print S4 and 45. So 45 is 4 again. So S44. Then in the next line, PS55, and finally a closing brace. Okay, so how it will expand? Let us check. So I am going to show it here. So it will go to this line. Then first it will print this brace. So here it will print this brace. Then it will go to next line. So PS45. It's a recursive call. It will expand again. Then again a brace will be printed. Then PS44. PS44. So it will print A4. Okay. Then it will go to next line. PS55. It will print A5. Then it will go to next line. So it will print closing brace. Then the control will return to the caller function. Then it will go to next line, PS66. So it will print A6. Then it will print closing brace. So it will print closing brace. Sorry, it will print closing brace. And then it will go to return to its caller, and finally it will print closing brace and return. So it will print closing brace and return. So in this order, if you multiply them, that will be the optimal solution. Here,
Yes, sir.
any
Yes, sir.
doubt?
No, sir.
So this is an algorithm by which we can calculate minimum number of multiplications required for matrix chain multiplication, and in which order or in which sequence they are to be multiplied. Okay, we are getting the parenthesized sequence, so that in which order we have to multiply them, that can be calculated. But we are not calculating the actual result of multiplication. The purpose of matrix chain multiplication is not to calculate the actual number of multiplication, sorry, not to multiply the matrices, but instead of that we are calculating the minimum number of multiplications required and in which order they are to be multiplied, so that we can achieve it. Okay, so this is the algorithm. Okay, so this is one example of dynamic programming. Now on the next day, in the next class, we will discuss another topic. Let us just give a brief introduction of that. Not this one at this moment. In the next class, I don't have this in my slide. We will find longest common subsequence using dynamic programming. Longest common subsequence means, okay, before discussing longest common subsequence, let us try to understand that string matching or string search. Okay, if you have written something in Notepad or in any Word document using any editor, if you want to search a pattern, you want to search a word or a substring, then you can just press Ctrl F on Windows platform. You can press Ctrl F and type whatever you want to search. In the background, one function is there. So one search function has been written by which this result will be generated, that if there is any occurrence of this substring, then it will be highlighted. So a function is there which is responsible for finding the closest matching string or matching substring. Okay, so this is just a simply searching technique. Now if I give you an example that 2 lines of text are given, okay, say 2 sentences, you have to find the maximum matching pattern. Maximum matching pattern means in 2 of this, let me give you one example. Okay, I will go, sorry, I'm giving you one example here, like say I have a string. I'm giving you a simplest example. Say I have a string A, B, C, A, D, EF. If I want to search and I have another string A, B, B, C, F, AD. So this is string 1 and this is string 2. Is there any, what will be the maximum matching between these two strings? So maximum matching means in both of this string I have A, then in this string I don't have B, here I have, okay, I have B here, I have B here, AB, then C, A, D, C. So in both of this string I have C and F. Okay. So this is
স্যার
one,
ডিও আছে
but here D is on the right hand side of F and here D is in the left hand side of F.
ওকে স্যার
So it will not be random. So in a specific order. So this is a substring. Okay. Let us try to find, do you find anything else? A, B, C, A, D. A, B, C, A, D. A, B, C, A, D. I'm not confirmed, but at a glance, I'm thinking that this is the longest maximum matching. This is the longest subchain of this two string where it matches. Okay. So if I want to determine if multiple strings are given, or at this moment I am assuming that two strings are given, between this pair of string, what will be the maximum matching you have to find? Okay. So you have to write one algorithm to find the maximum matching between two strings. Now you may think that why it's needed. Is there any requirement? Like we can understand that why matrix chain multiplication is needed, because we want to reduce computational time. But here, why do I need this string optimal substring matching? We don't use this thing in our content editing. Do you use this thing? But we use searching or finding. I want to find a pattern in another string. I use Ctrl F to find a string in another string. But do you use this type of pattern matching?
No, sir.
Then do you not think that why shall I learn it? Until I understand application of any algorithm, I should not learn it. I will never learn, obviously. If I think that this one is
Sir,
important,
need of copy paste মানে এটা যদি পরেও কোথাও আবার সেম প্যাটার্ন লাগে তো দেন
okay, basically the things are needed in many places. One is content authoring, obviously, or if you have written something, it is being copied by someone and he is claiming that he or she has written it. So you will try to, obviously, before publishing it, if I assume that who has copied it, he has made some changes. So we need to find maximum matching between these two texts. Okay. Even if some lines are copied, or from the intermediate position some lines has been moved to some later position, we have to find the maximum matching. But main purpose of this algorithm is in genetics. Okay. So for every gene, I think you are familiar with that. If we represent human gene, so gene can be represented by a string. In binary form, it will be represented. Okay, so if your genetic information and my genetic information needs to be matched, then these two strings are to be matched, and we have to find what is the maximum matching between these two strings. Okay, so this is one important application where this pattern matching is used. Okay,
Yes, sir.
you are already familiar that if somehow there is a criminal activity and we are unable to identify some person or the criminal,
Sir,
then
forensic science
in
or
forensic
forensic
science this one
department.
is heavily used. Basically in the background some programs are written for which this pattern matching is needed, so maximum matching. So in forensic lab, if you have seen any report, it will not show you that there is an exact matching. It will report that between these two gene pattern, whether it's a 85% matching or 75% matching, like this, but it will not never exactly match. Even their relative or parent and child, it will never exactly match, but maximum pattern will be found. Okay, so this is a case where this type of algorithms are heavily used. Okay, so we will discuss that in the next class, that how we can apply it. Okay,
Okay, sir.
okay, so we'll meet in the next class, and within this time, probably tomorrow, it's not possible to arrange an exam tomorrow. I may take your exam on Sunday.
Sir, please provide us the study material.
Okay, can you just remind me in the night? I have to leave very early at this moment. Okay, just I will stop your class and
So, sir,
I have to go
I'll
somewhere.
I'll remind you after the coding club meeting.
Okay, you can call me after 9:30. I will upload it in
Okay, sir.
Moodle, and otherwise I will share it in some other platform. Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Bye.